Hello, world. What is up? Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Matt Forte. We are here live at the Build Studio in New York City after 8 seasons, 200 episodes, sold-out world tours, party cruises, and even an exhibit at the Staten Island Museum. The Tenderloins are ready to release their magnum opus in the form of Impractical Jokers, the movie, starring said loins and directed by Chris Henchy. I got a chance to see it. It is exactly what you hope it is, plus so much more. Yes, it's true. It's true. Get a bunch of friends together, get some tickets, go see it right now. But first, joining me now, please welcome director of Impractical Jokers, the movie, Chris Henchy, and from the Tenderloins, make a crazy amount of noise, James Murray here, Joe Gatto and Sal Vulcano. Come on, guys.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Hello in the back. You need to get here earlier. You need to get...
That's good. That's a perfect amount of that.
Okay, so I don't know when we're supposed to get into that. Your purple watch matches your shoes, but I appreciate
that.
Fantastic.
I think we go right to it.
I saved that for second act, but if you want to start there, we can start there.
How many acts are there?
17.
Got it.
Yes, proper show, really. We just keep going. Gentlemen, congratulations. The impossible has happened. Here it is, the Impractical Jokers movie. It is wonderful. It is so fantastic. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about it. You just had the big premiere. How did that go?
It was great. We were very excited to have everybody finally see it. We've been working on it for so long, and to finally release it to the world was great.
It's a weird experience. Sitting in the theater after we made this thing together for a couple of years, and then having all our friends, family, loved ones, and like press, and just sitting in a room watching with everyone. It is. I don't normally get like, you know, my nerves wrought like that, but I was like, but I made it out the end okay. But I was like watching my dad to see what he laughed.
Were you
at.
watching people in the room more than you were watching the movie?
100%. And I think if you and I have watched a lot of time in the edit bay on a small screen, and then just to see everything on a movie theater.
Yeah, it's insane, and it's such a great kind of movie to watch with a community of people, because the laughs just build and build and build, and people see stuff that are laughing at it that you might not see until you look at it again. So it was fun to watch it with a bunch of people.
For me, I hated it. I gave it 1 star at most. Yeah.
I get that. I can understand that. I was waiting for your perspective on it.
There are surprises throughout it. You're right, because I noticed like people sometimes they're laughing, which is a good problem, but they're laughing so much that they miss another bit, or there's like so many surprises in the movie and little like Easter eggs and spoilers that it's like hard to catch them all the first time.
Yeah, we've always had a thought when you watch these kind of movies that if you see people moving in their seats while they're laughing, it's a good sign. And there's just like the guy in front of me who was bald, like the head was just bouncing around the whole time, and the light reflecting off it.
And that was me in front of
Murr.
What the heck?
1 star. 1 star, Murr.
My family came to the movie. My daughter, as you see in the trailer, for one of the jokes, they make me a horrible cave monster. So my 4.5-year-old daughter was laughing and smiling to see her dad, and then all of a sudden she sees this cave monster, and she goes like this, and she looked at me, and she came and sat in my lap. She goes, "What'd they do to you?" And I said, "No, it's okay." She's like, "You look like a weird statue." So that was interesting.
That's amazing. Were people, any chance that they were laughing at things that even surprised, that's funny. I didn't realize people thought that was funny, or something like that? Like,
I will say people laughed for the most part where we thought they were, but people laughed harder at things that I thought weren't going to hit as hard. There was a lot of big pops that I wasn't expecting.
We've screened it before, and we can kind of know where some of the laughs are, but yeah, I mean, there's stuff that I think we've seen so many times in the edit bay that we've been a little immune to it. But then when you see an audience react, you go, "Oh, that actually did work. We were right for once. I didn't screw it up. I haven't ruined them."
Well, Chris, this is your feature directorial debut.
Chris Henchy, everybody.
Round of applause for Chris. So
I had a lot of help. Well,
I was going to say, how'd you hook up with these guys, and what the hell were you thinking?
Yeah, the crazy thing is I have 2 kids, and I think I discovered them a lot, like many people, either in hotel rooms or you go downstairs. Not hotel rooms.
You discovered us in hotel rooms.
But it's very true. Like
we had a lucrative Craigslist career before Jokers.
Stay out of roadside Sheridans. I was in a hotel and I saw it, and ended up being 2 hours. I go home once and I try to get my kids to go do their homework, and they're downstairs watching, and I had a cup of coffee, and like an hour and a half went by. I was like, we got to get out of here. Everybody get upstairs. So that was my first kind of real introduction to them. And then my agent called. I was looking to start to direct a movie. And my agent called and said, "Hey, the Impractical Jokers are looking for a director." We brought up your name. They said who, and they went through some of the credits. And then they were like, "Oh, that sounds good. Let's meet with him." I met these guys in Nashville, and they were doing a live show. And I was familiar with the show. I had a couple ideas, but I went down. I've never seen a reaction of a crowd to a live performance like this. And I was like, there's clearly something great here. And then watching the guys as friends and who they are, I was like, yeah, I got to work with these guys. They're really fun. And they're good guys.
You guys have been building to this moment for a very long time. What was it about Chris that you were like, yeah, he's the guy. He's who I want, man in the helm?
Well, I've said, because the guys and I have known each other for 30 years. We met as freshmen in high school when we were 13. We have been performing together for 20 years of that, and the show has been on the air approaching 10 years. So the reason we went with Chris is the second we met with him, he clicked with us immediately. And it's no small feat to do. Like, we know each other so well.
We're atrocious.
We have a shorthand.
We're 30 years friends, but I still haven't clicked with the guys.
He's our one-star
it
friend.
There's always next season. There's always next season.
I kept going, what do you guys think about this Murray guy?
We've made hundreds of episodes together, among other things, before we even got this show. So for someone to come in and then all of a sudden just click with the four of us, it really was just a testament to Chris and his demeanor, his temperament, his sense of humor, his sensibilities. It all just clicked with us, and we don't get that often.
No,
so
the willing to collaborate too was great. I mean, he was in it. He was one of us right in the mix. It was 5 of us. It was great.
It's also, I don't envy the job you have, because we come from, the Jokers is majority improv. We kind of make it up as we go, and a film can't necessarily be that. There has to be planning and organization, and so he came in and just kind of very seamlessly was able to wrangle us and let us free at the same time.
Yeah, but do you want to talk about the process? Because a lot of the movies surprises, as you know.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask, right? Is you guys are all credited as writers on the film, but like 90% of the time you're watching this, one of you or two of you have no idea what the hell's about to happen.
The writers' room was very like, when somebody left, we started working on their part of the movie.
CIA.
Yeah,
it was like CIA headquarters.
It was so funny. The day we shot the, well, we can say it. We just released the clip last night of Sal getting locked in a hotel room, and there's a 600-pound tiger in the room with him, and he's terrified of cats.
Not a hotel room, a motel room.
Your face that day, Henchy. It was the first time we were really doing a big secret on the movie, and Henchy was like pale and white,
sweating from
terrified that he was going to let go of the secret.
Oh, I wasn't afraid about Sal in a room with the tiger. I was afraid he was going to tell people, like, Sal, be careful of the tiger. I didn't want to let him in on the bit.
Ruining the secret is much worse than anything else that could have happened.
I ruined one, and I because I had to also write some version of a script. So you want to write stuff in a script that wardrobe and props everybody can do, and I put too much information in one of them in there. It kind of ruined the day. And I was like, I walked around, said like, I'm so sorry, guys, and kept walking. Guys, I'm sorry, I don't understand this. I'm figuring it out.
You were so hard on yourself. We're like, it's okay.
He's like kicking a pebble.
Surprise.
He's walking around. He's like, guys, I really messed this one up.
But I also told
a wholesome reaction, though.
We've all done it. We've all done it.
I also might be the world's either best, not best director, or the worst director. But I said to him, I go, I'll write a script. You guys don't have to follow it. Just get just look at the words, maybe get the spirit of it. Get me to this line, and then I can figure out what to do. I was just like, we don't, because you really haven't acted before, but we shot one slightly dramatic scene the first day, and I was like, these guys got it.
Is there a small part of you, though, in that moment that thinks, at least we're getting something good for the show, like for the movie?
Well, we're always performing with two minds. Right? We want to be just present in the moment and react to it the way that any of us would, because that's what you guys relate to, and we want to be there. But we know we're executive producers and making television and movies, so you have two mindsets going. But when that was finished, I went to them and I said, I apologized. And I said, I don't think this will ever make the movie. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because all I did was freeze and not say a word.
Ask about insurance.
Because I couldn't. And they said, no, that's the part that's funny.
We got Sal the best auto insurance for that day. Don't worry.
Yeah, it was just stuff like that is just the whole crew, and I think the crew, because we did it with a different crew than our TV show for the most part, and then when we pulled off something like that, everybody in the crew, I think instantly, like that was like, wow, you guys got something really, you got them great. So
we're now 2 for 4. How often did one of you spend a day apologizing to everybody else on the set of this film? There's a lot of guilt going on.
A lot of apologies.
It's funny. So you weren't able to make it last time the guys were here, right? So they were all here without you. Now
he forgave you though.
That's just good. Thank you. Yes, true. But like, I just don't want. I bring it up because how do you know that even right now this isn't part of some elaborate joke that could, at any second, the ball could drop?
It's an excellent question, and I don't. And we have to think like that all the time too. When we say that, everyone thinks the show is so fun, but our daily lives when the cameras are off, we're in constant fear that something's going on that we don't know about, and that's every day. So you start to actually.
You're freaking us all out.
You start to get neurotic and you start approaching everyday life in a very different way. I changed. I'm a different person than when the show first started.
This happened today, 1 hour ago. We had another press interview. I go to the men's room. A claw reaches under the stall and grabs me. It's Joe Gatto grabbing me from the next stall.
Because he has this thing where he won't
Freaks
pee in
me out.
urinals. He pees weird. He'll only pee in
I
the
don't pee
stall. So his
weird.
feet are going the right way. So I go in, I sit down on the toilet. I don't
me.
have my pants on. I don't care. And I grab the bottom of his sheet and I just start banging it against the door.
Freaking me out. So the pee doesn't come. Nothing. It's just.
We were working.
And I also didn't realize that there was another guy in the bathroom.
The whole time.
I was at the urinal, but there was a mirror, and I was next to a man that we didn't know, and Joe didn't see that man, walked in, grabbed him, so he thought, what's going on there? And then Joe looked at me in the eyes, pulled his pants down, and sat down on the bowl, and left it open, but didn't see from the angle that there was a man next to me. This is an hour ago. And then the guy turns out, looks at Joe in the face, and goes, Joe goes, I'm sorry, and he closes the door. It's like, I can't live like this. I can't.
It's a fun way to live.
Yeah, I mean, we won't spoil it, but like even for your birthday in the movie,
That they got me, man. You know, we were filming for like 2 months, and my birthday fell right in the middle of filming. And we finished. We wrapped at like 6 p.m. that night.
On
and the guys
purpose.
are like, yeah, on purpose. Now I know. They're like, you know, Murr, we're gonna take you out for your birthday tonight. So we go to a bar. The 5 of us, right? We're drinking a little bit. We said we're gonna take you out to a club where gentlemen might hang out, if you can imagine. So we go, and unbeknownst to me, the entire thing was part of the movie. They filmed my birthday celebration in the movie. It's the most embarrassing moment of my life.
which is the question that I have there is how hard is it to get you to let your guard down? Because you have to at
That
some
was a
point,
tough one.
right? You have to get everyone to lower their defenses somehow.
Yeah, well, the challenge there for that one specifically was we were filming for the first part of the day, so we literally had to run 2 sets. There was the set of us shooting, and then during lunch, Chris and I had to go over to this gentleman's club and make sure that was all set. And then when the night was over, we had to talk him into, well, he should have known we never take him out for drinks for his birthday, ever. And right there. So we had to make it, we literally had to make it Henchy's idea. Henchy was like, we should go out and get a drink, so it made sense to Murray.
Yeah, I was so nervous that you would be like,
Sal never takes
Sal would
me out
never
for
come out with me. And
So we had to invite him, and then he had to, when we came in, he had to go to the bathroom. So he left us, and then we could film.
Incredible. Chris, you we talked about how a lot of this is improvised and you kind of just have to point the cameras at and let it happen, but you've got a lot of experience producing and working on sets where there's a lot of improvisation. What was the biggest curveball? What was the craziest thing that you had to adjust to in the moment that this film threw at you?
Scripted was actually, there's not a lot of scripted in there. It's like maybe 20%. It's just a story to get the guys on the road. That to this day is the easiest part of it. You know what to expect. You know when you get on set where you're going to have, where you're shooting. The challenges were stomach ache city every morning because I'm like, we only had a set amount of days, a set budget. We had to get stuff. And so you can't control the weather. You don't have another set you can go to. You can't control the people's reactions. And you just hope they work. And you just, you know, but the great thing is these guys are so good at it. They can even tell if something's starting to veer and they can almost in their own way guide it to a place that's funny or play off their reactions, and so it saves you. It's the easiest day, but it's also the hardest because there's not much for me to do. I get to talk to in their ears a little bit or tell whoever's behind the scenes what to do. But it's you don't know what you're going to get, and you're hoping you get something.
And I wouldn't say off limits because obviously nothing's off limits for you guys amongst each other. But is there a moment like when you're writing? All right, here's the question. What's the earliest you started a con? Have you put out decoy ideas in the writing room?
I'm in the midst of one from season 6 that's been building.
Wait,
culminate
what?
in 9. I'm not even kidding.
3 years?
3 years in the making, season 9 of Impractical Jokers. It'll go. I'm very close to making it happen. And if it doesn't, I'm gonna have to get a 10th season because I've been working way too hard on this thing.
Against who?
it's like Alias. We're walking around in wigs. We're like giving secret codes.
The longest we got on the TV show was Sal over a couple of years. We made him think that he was going to get arrested by Homeland Security, and we had Homeland Security raid the set. But in the movie,
I got deposed. Fake deposed. My whole day. They weren't even there.
We were off. We were off that day. Sal was living his life being deposed by an actress that we hired on the set of Law & Order SVU down to town. He doesn't know where they film. But the whole thing was like for the movie, the best part about this, that which we were so excited about, is we always had these big ideas that were too big for the television show. Finally, we got the movie. That's the well we went to right away, and it's packed with these huge ideas that we finally could afford either the insurance or to do it or have enough time because 90 minutes versus 30.
All is to say too is that the new model for like releasing movies, not like when I was younger, but we're in limited theaters right now, and we want it like the best way to watch this movie. This was made for the fans, and also was a great intro to us. But the best way to watch it is with a group. And when we made the movie, we intended for that. We were thinking of the experience of viewing it. So we want everyone to get out this weekend and watch it before the spoilers come out, and also it'll expand to other places for other fans that don't have it right now. If you guys see it this weekend,
The cool thing too is that a TV show only has one punishment at the end, but in this movie, we packed in like 5 or 6 punishments throughout. All of us get the business, man. Yeah.
I thought for sure we were going to finally see the "Does anyone object" at a wedding prank. I thought joke. I thought that was coming. What?
Murray's getting married in September, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I object.
Something had to have fallen onto the floor? Stuff that either was even still too expensive or too elaborate. Because we can't spoil anything. But what were some of the ideas?
One of the ideas that we had for the loser of the movie, which we couldn't make it happen because we had to get back to production on the TV show, was we wanted to send the loser to jail for real for a month. So we wanted for real send him to jail for a month.
We were calling jails for months.
Trying to get them right.
Seriously, and we wanted him to be in general population, and no jail company would accept that, or company.
And we had another idea where the loser.
What did they do? We're like, no, we didn't do anything.
They lost the movie.
We just want to hang out.
We also had another idea where the loser of the movie had to get marooned on an island for a month, and the last day he gets saved and brought right to set to film season 10, looking like however he
like
looks.
the way he lived, yeah.
Did the prison one devolve to, okay, well, what crime can we commit that's only a month? Did it like ever go that?
We Googled. Yeah, we did some research. We took a look.
A light
Although
crime.
a lot came out of that because we like the idea so much that we want to keep it and maybe use it again. There's a few ideas that we couldn't pull off here that we will never forget that we might try to do again as well.
We had one other crazy idea that the loser of the movie would have to donate an organ.
We have 2 kidneys. You only need one. Everybody knows this.
That's fair.
So we thought you do some good, and also you don't want to lose your kidney, so you're going to play to win.
It's a tough spot to be in because you don't want to. It's a punishment because you don't want to lose your kidney, but it is helping someone, so you also can't complain about it. But then they were like, well, the only thing is if you ever need that other kidney and you gave it away, that'd be an issue.
Well,
so
I said we keep the receipt, we get it back. I mean, it didn't work out.
You can reverse it. It's like a vasectomy.
Yeah.
You can go back and forth.
Yeah, and real quick about the communal feel, like we tour live, and our fans love, to watch and be together and connect on that. And we know that these showings will be way more like a Rocky Horror Picture Show, or The Room or something like that, where the fans are going to be into it. So I think that energy is what we're really looking for. We're actually popping in. We're all dividing and going to different theaters.
Yeah.
Different states. I'm going to like Cleveland and Indianapolis. Murr is.
I'm doing Dallas and Baltimore and D.C. this weekend.
Yeah.
my cities are Pittsburgh, Philly, Jersey, and New York.
Yeah, Q's
And Q's in there as well.
Chicago. Q's in Chicago.
Nobody wants me to come.
And I'm in Long Island on Sunday. You should come.
Come out to Long Island.
Come on.
We're going to go over to the audience in just a second, but I got a million questions for you guys, but I don't want to take anybody's time out there. So last one I'll do. I didn't bring it up last time you were here. We were talking about all the stuff. I mentioned in the intro that you had an exhibit at the Staten Island Museum, a real exhibit with props from the show and all this sort of stuff. What a surreal, crazy thing to have happen.
They did like a real thing with one of our comedy producers on the show, Joe Imbergio, who was from there, and somebody from the network, Danny Green, got together with them, and they did a real like history thing. And it was funny for us because we're like, oh, it'll be jokey, it'll be fun. But then we realized how much history there is to the show, and they put together a real exhibit, and it was up for 6 months, right?
Yeah, it was basically a love letter to Staten Island, and it was the way we met and all the ways Staten Island influenced us. And then, of course, it was like, all the props and items and like how we do the show. And it was way bigger than we thought. And it was humbling. And people came out, and I don't know. I mean, being in a museum is like a whole nother thing.
And we were
like,
positioned right next to the woolly mammoth exhibit, so it was great placement in the museum.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah,
They're going to be somewhere.
people kept confusing the mammoths for myself. But
And we loved it so much, actually, that we made it mobile. mobile, and we take it on the road to different events. Like when we do Comic-Con in San Diego, they do a mobile version of it. Like, yeah, it's great.
Unbelievable. All right, let's get some questions from the outside world. The first one, we got 5? Well, all right, let's do it up. We got the first one coming to us from Twitter. This is Dana Cameron, who says, at what point did the guys review the movie and think, it's perfect, we don't need to edit it anymore?
Dana must work in the business, because that's such a loaded question, and the answer is never. I mean, we watched the movie the other night. I'm like, going, wait a minute. We go like we're all looking like I could trim a couple frames off that. You're never. Someone has to take it from your hands.
Yeah, it has to be pride from us. It was pride from you.
Pride from all of us. We're like, we didn't have enough time.
Is it the same way with the show, too, or is it different? Because the show, you've got to hit more deadlines. It's got to be ready. You got to get...
Show's different because the big thing you do with the show is you could shuffle an episode if it's not ready. The way we film it, we film challenges and then we assemble. So if something's not ready, needs more room, you just kick it down the line. With the movie, there's one version, 90 minutes.
And that happens fairly commonly. Yeah.
Great question. Thank you for that. The next one's also from Twitter. This is at Lexi Pino1. Sorry. It says, hi. Is there a possibility of having more movies down the road? P.S. I've been supporting you guys since the first episode. I cannot wait for this movie.
That's great.
It's up to you guys, the fans. If you guys like it and come out to see it this weekend and it does well, hell yeah, we'll make another movie.
Can we answer this on Monday?
No, we all had a great time. I think we would put everybody. I mean, speaking for me, we'd jump right back into it.
I assume there's a folder of like ideas for part
Well,
two.
I mean, there was, we put 10 challenges in the movie, but we came up with 50 for the movie. So there's definitely a wealth of information. Yeah.
For sure. Awesome. Thanks for those online. We're going to do a bunch in the room. We've got at least 3. We're going to get to all of them. The first one's from Elizabeth. You've got a microphone. Where are you? Front row. Hey, what's up?
Congratulations to the movie.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So you guys spend a lot of time together, whether you're touring, filming, or just hanging out. So what pet peeves did y'all develop for one another?
What pet peeves?
Pet peeves?
For each other.
Oh, okay. Well, how much time do we have? I will say in the beginning, we traveled very differently than we do now. Now we get our own lunch and dinner. Like we have a little bit more alone time on the road. But the one thing we all do is shop together. We love shopping, and we all shop very differently.
So different.
So differently. I'll take that. Give me. You have that. Sal will take forever. So Sal always has to meet up with us because we're always like.
We'll hit an outlet mall. It has 100 stores. You're like, I want to hit every one. Sal will only get into one store, and he stays there for 3 hours.
My body type is such that that sizes aren't consistent across clothing lines. So I'm a guy that needs to try everything else on to make sure it's good for my body type. He just is like, let me have 3 of those in a medium.
Yeah, I do.
So it's
I don't care what my body looks like in clothing.
Yeah.
Sal,
if I find one thing I like, I'll buy 6, 7 of them, and I'll wear them. You'll see this in every interview for the next 2 years.
No. This is a weird thing he does. Maybe it's a sign of genius. I don't know. Because I heard that if you have because I used to only wear a black V-neck when I heard. So that when we go to pack and go on the road, I would put the same 5 shirts in there, and so I don't have to think about packing. I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear, and it saves time. Until I realize that I'm always wearing the same thing. I look like a crazy person. But those are your pants right now for like this season.
Yes.
He has he has 5 of those. It's all he'll wear.
Yeah. That's it. I have 5 exact pairs of these pants.
Sal, knowing that you're going to be in one spot for a while, what store are you most commonly drawn towards? Where do you gravitate?
Any sneaker store. Yeah, I go first and foremost.
It used to be J. Crew, right?
Yeah,
J. Crew was your jam.
first and foremost, though, I'll just look up where the local sneakerhead store is and go to that.
Great question. Thank you for that. We've got 2 more, and the next one's from Yalamar, and they have a microphone. Yalamar, where you at? What's
Hi.
up?
Hello.
Hello.
So my question is, what's one memory that keeps you humble?
One memory?
Yes.
That is a great question, actually.
That is a good question.
The memory, actually, that's exactly what I was going to say. We started here in New York City, and we started the Tenderloins comedy troupe here, and we did improv, and we produced our own shows all the time. And then we had booked a space to do a weekly run at a place called Rose's Turn, which isn't here anymore.
Matter of fact, in about a week, March 4th, will be the 20-year anniversary to the first performance we did together in New York City.
Yeah.
Hold for applause.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, 20 years. So,
Thank you.
So overnight success, just 20 years. So at this one run on a Thursday night, it holds 50 people, and there was 2 people in the audience, and we came out and we're like, oh,
we're 4 people.
So we outnumbered them. So we only had to make half a person laugh, so it wasn't hard work. But we had to pay for the space, and they paid $10 a ticket, so we lost like $35 on the night.
Yeah.
But
We split it 4 ways.
We always say that, and every time we're up on stage, we legitimately look out at these arenas and theaters wherever we're playing, and it never is lost on us ever. And those 2 people still haunt me to this day.
As the crowds have gotten larger and larger, have you guys kind of had to calibrate the live show, the energy?
I think the whole show has changed as a result of its success. It started I never imagined it would be kids and their families watching the show. I thought it was going to be guys our age kind of watching this kind of, jackass type humor, and it wasn't. It became this family kind of co-viewing show, and we've changed the TV show and the tour as a result.
Yeah, the live show, we started our first one. We'll be releasing our 5th version of a live show this summer.
Yeah.
So this is our 5th time doing it. Each one's 18 months to 2 years, and the first show, it was very weird to see children. Because it was an 18+ show, but there was people taking their 10-year-old
we
kids.
forgot in the beginning to put 18+ suggested. So then people just came. It was literally like class trips coming. To
There was one show where we just looked and we saw all these young kids and we're like, guys, there's so many kids here and we're just showing a video that none of these kids should see. And I said, we were at the lights. I'm like, do me a favor, could we raise your hand if you're under 12 years old? And 40 kids hands went up because they forgot to put on the thing 18 and over. So we brought them up all on the stage.
We brought all 40 kids on
and we
stage.
sang "We Are the World" to just make up for it.
Yeah.
But now the shows are much more kid-friendly.
Now they are. And we've adjusted accordingly.
It's still 16+.
Recommended.
We're going to do one more. We'll get to you in a second, Paul, but I have one last question just to follow up. You got 20 years together coming up anniversary. You just did the 200th episode. You got your movie. How do you guys decide, how do you pick out the big moments to celebrate all these landmarks? How do you know this makes sense for the 200 or we should save this for the 20th? You have so many amazing milestones. How do you plan for all this?
You know what? You're top notch.
Oh, God.
These questions are unbelievable.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. You should do this more.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you know what? I was started off impressed with the but then you went. That's it. Nice. I think for us, we are always blown away though. Like we're always each moment. We've been very fortunate. Our fans are the best fans in the world. They come out all the time and support us. They are true fans, and they've been with us. Like you saw before, I've been with you since episode 1. But
It's not so much as picking, this will go there or this will go there. It's like we have to constantly output.
Yeah.
And so you just have to learn to make whatever, that you can the best for that moment, because something's going to come down the
I was
line.
going to say is the pressure of the fans and knowing that we don't want to disappoint them makes us be better. So each time we just try to top ourselves. And then with this movie, this was hands down for me the hugest moment ever. Being on that red carpet and just seeing the movie start was
surreal. It was
yeah.
humbling and unbelievable.
So awesome. All right, let's do one more. Paul, you got a microphone. Where are you?
Hey guys, how are you? I was just wondering, like we've been saying here for a little bit, that you guys have such a wide audience, so many different people, and I think a big reason that is because of your friendship and how you're able to connect with each other so well. I was just wondering if you guys, when you were first starting out, if your friendship was the thing that made you guys decide that you wanted to do comedy and stand up together, or if you were all interested in it before.
Are you going for his job? Because that was a good one too.
That was good.
He's next. What do your shoes and watch look like? All right, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a little both. We did improv comedy together in high school on stage, and we loved each other. We loved comedy separately, and chocolate and peanut butter makes a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Wait, what?
You're not good at this. You want to come up here?
I don't even
Is that not
understand.
true?
I don't understand the answer. I'm still as confused as you.
Yeah. So you know what? Go get a Reese's peanut butter cup and hang out with your friends. Is your merch trying to?
Special thanks to Reese's for sponsoring the Joker's movie. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I mean, they go hand in hand for us. The show, hands down, is more about friendship than it is about hidden camera pranks. 1,000%. People respond to our friendship more than anything.
Like ham and cheese.
Yeah. With a ham and cheese and turkey and peanut butter cups, and directed by Chris Henchy.
Guys, thank you for being such a great audience and hanging out with us and asking great questions. Thanks to those who tuned in. I'll remind everybody, you can get tickets right now, and then it's going to expand. It's going to be all over the place. So if it's not playing near you right now, just hang in there. And as soon as it is, get a bunch of friends together and go see this movie immediately. It is such a fantastic time. Chris, congratulations on the directorial debut here for the feature. And gentlemen, congratulations on it. The magnum opus. This is it, man. The Impractical Jokers, the movie. Thank you so much for being here. Keep an eye out. There's a million other things they're doing. Don't miss them. Impractical Jokers, the movie. Go see it.